I will always bring this up for the rest of his motherfucking
Don't get me wrong, I'm still a petty bitch and I'll still talk my shit. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a petty bitch and I'll still
I'm that bitch.
talk my shit.
I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch.
Whatever.
I'm that bitch.
There's different technicalities to the shit.
I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch.
I'm just saying, whatever negativity. Hold on. Hello.
Call me like 5 hours away.
Alright.
I will always bring this up for the rest of his motherfucking life. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch.
Don't get me wrong, I'm still a petty bitch and I'll still talk my shit.
I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm just playing.
Don't get me wrong, I'm still a petty bitch and I'll still talk my shit.
I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm just playing. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch.
Don't get me wrong, I'm still a petty bitch and I'll still talk my shit.
I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm just playing. I will always bring this up for the rest of his motherfucking life. I will always bring this up for the rest of his motherfucking life. I will always bring this up for the rest of his motherfucking life. Ooh, why Fashion Nova keep hitting me up though? Cause I'm that bitch. 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 I'm just playing.
Hey guys, good morning. Good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing? Happy Saturday. Lady B Ashley, notification gang gang. Girl, it was just you and me this morning. First. Love Noel. Good morning. Nikki Jenkins. Yes, Erica. Double star diva. Yes. Is that like a 5-star chick? What is that? Yes. Anne, good morning. Tatiana, Amber, Latoy, C Talk, how are you, my dear? Just Kim, how's it going? Tai Cherie, how are you? Guys, I don't know. Tai Cherie, look, I don't know if you're there yet, but guys, if you look, you like these YouTube streets, you like a variety of content creators. C Talk, she vlogs. She's talking about a journey she's been going. A lot of us like to, look. Keisha went and got breast augmentation. C Talk is undergoing a similar but yet different her own journey. Go check her out. C Talk is right there in the chat. She's a mod. Tai Cherie, she talks that ish. She's got a fun channel and she talks YouTube streets, guys, and we're trying to help her get to 1K. Can you guys make that difference? She's so close and she's putting in that work, guys. Okay, she's putting in that work, and I think you also enjoy her channel. JCT 22, excuse me, 220. How are you? Jack Norris. I know I'm getting on someone's nerves right now. People just want to get to the tea. And okay, we're gonna get there. AH, good morning. Good morning, guys. AH says, good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you? It's Saturday, guys. It's Juneteenth, y'all. Hey, hey, it's Juneteenth, guys. And if you are listening and you don't know what Juneteenth is, go ahead, take a minute, Google it, and read at least maybe 2 or 3 things because there's always something different. Never take one single source, okay? Because there's his, hers, and the truth, or whatever, right? There's many, many, many sides to stories and history. So make sure that you are getting a fair and balanced kind of viewpoint on everything, right? So Juneteenth is today. It is something that is uniquely from the African American experience. And if you are not familiar with what it is, get you some. I think that some people, like when Cinco de Mayo comes up, there's a lot of insensitivity because we don't know what Cinco de Mayo is all about. So rather than me tell you and not do it justice, and us, and just like we, to our Mexican brothers and sisters who don't feel like we do Cinco de Mayo justice, what I'm going to do is say, research it for yourself and get some understanding that of the culture. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that right there. Nicole HE, sound is low. Let's see. Is it still low? Hold on. Your audio is low. Is it still low? We can't hear you. Is it better now? Ooh, hey, hey, yeah, I just saw my volume's low. Okay, huh? Oh no, you're fine. Girl, I was getting ready to go get my hair done, actually. Oh, hold on. I wonder what's going on with my mic. Let's see. Hello? Okay. I'm fixing it. Okay. I'm fixing it. All right. Thank you. Guys, can you hear me? I think you can hear me now. For some reason, my mic is not projecting. Let me see. Did I unplug it? Can you guys hear me? Okay. You can hear me now, right? Okay. Sorry, guys. Guys, let me tell you something. I just pretty much almost ran through everyone's names. So this is not a dress rehearsal. Like, we are here live, and I can't repeat everything because we just went 8 minutes in. So sorry, guys. My bad. Love Noel, Lil Mama, Latrice, Angie Ann, Trina T, Marvelous, Verena Rich, Tatiana, Notification Gang Gang, good morning, HB, Nerd Girl, Michelle G. I'm just glossing over names, guys. Don't take it personal. We're going to get to everyone's name, but I'm just going to do a blanket hello to everyone. We can't really hear you. Yeah, so hopefully you guys can hear me now. Are we good now? I think we're good, I hope. Guys, so I was supposed to get my hair done this morning, and I got to the the braid shop, and they had overbooked. So here I am. I said, you know what? I came in the house. I made breakfast for my peeps, and I said, let me go ahead and jump on here because I know my head's going to be hurting later. Anisha and Rose of Sharon. I'm sure Cheryl was in the house. Ty Cherie. Amber, good morning. All my members, all my mods, all the subscribers, anyone just passing through. If you're new here, you're not subscribed, go ahead, Hit the subscribe button for me, Troletta. Yeah, that happens. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had problems with my mic for a while, but it looks like it kind of had some slippage. So I just took it out and replugged it in. So it's checking, you know, it is wise to check your equipment before you go live. So, and I did not do that. And thank you to the person who just called me. I appreciate you so much. Courtney fixing mommy, your backyard is so cute. I'm looking at a picture. Very, very cute, guys. Very nice. Love Beauty, hello. Guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you've been here more than once, yeah, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You know, like in church when they say, do we have any visitors? Please stand up. And then it's like, okay, if you've been here more than once, you're not a visitor. You know, go ahead and come on. If you like it here, hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications. Because when you come so much that you're getting a notification and you're not subscribed, that argument of, I'm not even subscribed to her channel, that doesn't really stand up because you come so much, you get a notification anyway. Okay? The computer knows, you know, the computer knows. Don't lie to yourself. Okay? Look, we see a lot of that on these YouTube streets. Yeah, you can say one thing, but yeah, the facts say something else. You're not subscribed, but your notification, you come so much even without a notification. Okay, without being on the subscription gang, you get a notification. That means you are here. That means you're here. The computer has registered you. All right. Ty Cherie, I was trying to tell everyone to help you get over that hump. Okay, C Talk. Guys, C Talk Vlogs, and go check her out, okay? Let the church say amen. Yes, 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 yes. Marissa Stark, good morning. Good morning, good morning, Latoy. Everyone, if I don't give you a personal hello right now, I'm going to make up for it on Monday, okay? I love you guys, but I want to make the most of the time, okay? So I'm so sorry for the technical difficulty, but note to self, check your equipment before hitting that go live, okay? Rena, thank you. Good morning. How's it going? Guys, if you guys have any questions, I will drop the link in just a little bit. I promise I am not going to just go for an hour. I'm not going to just let it rip. But let me tell you, it's really interesting. Last night was a trip. Let me tell you. I just want to talk relationships real quick. Please sub to I Am Ty Cherie. Yes. She just has 100 to go, guys. Yes. Check out I Am Ty Cherie. Not only is she just fabulous, she's fun. She's got a fun channel. She's got a nice perspective on things. And if you like to get that broad balance, you know, if you want to have that balance to your reactions, yeah, don't just listen to me. Don't just listen to those top 2, top 3, those 5, those whomever, right? You know, sometimes it's good to just like, okay, what are your thoughts? You know, at the end of the day, I think that the wonderful thing about this forum, even though it can be messy as fuck, period, okay? We're in a messy sector, messy mommy sector. It's a lot of drama. But the one thing that I do love about this is that this is a forum where people are able to share their thoughts, ideas, and opinions. Yeah, you might get roasted for it, but at the end of the day, this is a free speech platform, and there's a lot of free speech going on, whether it is me who turns on a microphone or a camera, or people in the comment section. And there's a lot of people who put lots of scenarios and their lifestyles out here, even though they say it's not out here to be dissected. They also don't get to dictate how we react. And some people just watch. Some people like to, you know, chit chat about it with peers, be it other moms, be it other girlfriends, be it zaddies, be it whatever. Are you guys following me here? So number one, we put this stuff out and it's in the wind, and you guys enjoy it however you see fit, right? That's one piece of advice I would like for some of the folks to take, because I can say that as someone who also vlogs their life and someone who puts out personal content on a completely other channel. There are people who will take
content, and they turn it to whatever they want to turn it to. Does that make me happy? Not all the time, but you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in charge of my happiness, and I also understand that when I opt into this YouTube thing, that I gave up a certain amount of control. I don't want to even say privacy, but privacy, I think that's just kind of the X factor, right? That's just what we already know. All right. That's the given, right? Let's get to math. It's the given. Now, some of the other aspects I've had to learn along the way. So when you get a first reaction, yeah, you kind of realize, yeah, I feel like I'm somewhere I'm not supposed to be because you're talking about me. And maybe this is critique that I don't necessarily think I want to hear. So let me just go to this. Last night, I knew Olivia had gone live, but I was doing other things. And I'm not talking about when she went live, when Niecy was live. I'm talking about, maybe Niecy was live at that moment, but I'm not sure. Olivia had gone live and she said she was getting ready for Zaddy, right? Now, Zaddy miraculously beamed himself from Atlanta, where a avatar of Louis resides in the sliding window. But we know, I mean, ZOLO, this is what I'm going to say to you. If you're watching this right now or happen to come across this video, what I want you to know is what's playing out right now on these YouTube streets is a direct result of someone saying, you know what, I'm going to be, as Kwame Brown says, with the go along to get along gang. And I'm going to just go ahead and let a pathological liar, allegedly, have me co-sign some things that I know are not true, but because I'm just going to go along to get along, I'm going to co-sign some things. But what you don't seem to understand, which ZOLO, you hadn't learned yet to hide your subscriptions. I know some people have feelings out here about or thoughts on why people would not have that information out for people to know. I mean, I've got over 400 subscriptions out here on the YouTube streets. I watch lots of different channels, and none of which are anyone's business but my own, because I could be watching van lifers, I could be watching gardening, I could be watching cooking, I could be watching that fuck shit, I could be watching anything, and what I'm watching is for the business of when I tell you what I'm watching, okay? So, but what I do know is that ZOLO Bands is subscribed to one of our YouTube sisses, and I'm not just talking about Liv's Life, I'm talking about Witchy Wit. Now, if you're subscribed to Witchy Wit, because this is social media, I know you've probably seen my video come across your way, and what I want you to know is this. The situation right now that is at hand, sir, is a direct result of a husband, a boyfriend who turned into a husband, a baby father, who decided to be with the go along to get along gang and said, let me let my woman make her coins, and she lost her mind, and he got wrapped up in a whole entire whirlwind of fuck shit, and mayhem has now ensued. Okay. So what I'm telling you is this: you've made a right turn down the wrong street. And the minute that you started to let Olivia control the narrative, which is include you in lies of telling people that you're in a place where you are not, gaslighting people who are not stupid, and for you to change the narrative rather than just be a man and stand up and say, look, I'm not going to talk about my relationship. I'm where I'm at. Okay, sir. I'm where I'm at. I'm where I want to be. And wherever that is, I mean, whatever you think you know is what you know. But to gaslight people is just ridiculous. And it's not good business. And for you trying to grow a channel in between, in spite of the woman that you deal with independently, what you're doing is wrapping yourself up in some women's business that is not yours. What I would do, sir, is to try your hardest to attract an audience to supplement this audience that is really only here to hear you the next time you two get pissed and hear what other tasty treats of tea you are going to drop on top of tuna can smelling ass. And oh yeah, she had a yeast infection because I went to buy the cream, and I'm tired of laying down with a dirty ass woman But this chick is so fucking delusional that last night she pulled out her teddy negligee to get dolled up for a man that she has the nerve to call Zaddy, who actually like ripped you up and down the YouTube streets. It was one of the most disrespectful rants I have ever heard in my life. And you are spreading out your filet mignon for him like a damn buffet, okay? Did you even take a look at his monologue when he started out talking about you for 10 minutes, holding garbage bags, exiting the complex? Okay? Monetizing the information about you and the inner workings of your home, and that you leave children home at night alone to go pick him up in St. Pete. You know, I think that, like I said this the other day, ZOLO was broke, and he realized that he was able to monetize something valuable that people wanted to know. And what they wanted to know was a lot of Olivia's business. And he monetized it by taking Cash App donations to earn money by dropping her tea, which I'm convinced he was going to drop anyway. That's why he said she was mad, because he tells too much of their business. So homie has now clocked in on Olivia's payroll. It's official. It's official. Because the more that you corroborate this lie, the more that we know ZOLO bands, Mr. Freethinker, it sounds good because you're smoking that good CBD with just enough THC to get you high in the morning if you're not all the way high, period. I don't really believe you're smoking CBD, but whatever. At the end of the day, you are now, you've been tucked, okay? You've been tucked. We're just going to watch and see if you get snipped, okay? Because this woman is going for your balls. This woman said last night she had balls. She said she had big balls, right? What female talks about some big balls, okay? What woman wants testicles? I'm so cool with my vagina and my uterus. Like, my God, my cervix and fallopian tubes and all that stuff. Like, I don't need balls because I've got some, but they're not attached to me. They're attached to my better half. I don't need balls because I'm a woman. I'm a woman, and we have a little bit of testosterone in us anyway, right? We have just enough, but it's supplemented by something else that is uniquely for us. That's what makes us women, right? Let's get to the science here, right? Olivia, girl, you sure do know how to treat a man, okay? Guys, she was over there getting ready for a D appointment, okay? Let her tell it, but he lives there. So, guys, and you got the whole house to yourself. I mean, my God. I don't know if your mom's staying there or not, but you don't have any kids at the house. You guys should have been handling business already, but you were getting ready for a D appointment, and it's like as if someone turned your switch on. You were triggered by the fact that Niecy went live, and you totally discounted the fact that you were supposed to be in that bed giving up that box to your man. You guys were getting all googly eyes at each other and everything. Bye, guys. I gotta go. We're gonna start watching that movie. You guys were gonna start making a movie, okay? Girl, Rena, yes, she said she was gonna. Girl, she was fresh. She looked like she had actually bathed, and was fresh, right? With her gown on and whatever. But just like ZOLO said, when it's time to do something, you want to go live. I was like, that was the first thing I thought. I was like, are you not supposed to be stroking some sausage right now? But you over here battling with someone that you said is not relevant? Oh, she's not relevant. Oh, okay. She seems very relevant to me at this moment, to you. Because instead of handling your business, that you got online to make sure everybody knows that you two were getting ready to just go ahead and bump. Homeboy was sitting there probably 5-finger discounting his sausage because your ass slow walked for over an hour bitching about a man that you say you don't care about anymore. having conversations with your kids that should have took place hours ago. Just like your husband said, you're the parent, you call them. I'm not holding you from your kids. But you did the classic, let me try to upset my kids move. Girl, you were supposed to be in that bed handling your business with your zaddy, okay? But you got out of bed, hit the live button to go at it with someone that you said doesn't even matter, okay? That doesn't even factor into this equation. You gave it all kinds of heat. Look, I know there's lots of bags being made right now. Lots of bags, okay? Taishari, jump on, girl. I know you've been covering this topic, but girl, this is a good one. You see how quick Zolo got himself monetized in 2-3 days, okay? All right. But there's a lot of conversation here because this is stuff that a lot of people go through. Number one, ladies, if you are on these YouTube streets, do not play your loved ones to the left for these YouTube streets. Yeah, I needed to go live this morning because I wanted to talk about this shit. But you know what? When my hair appointment, I think I was telling you guys, I don't know if I was on live or not. You guys heard me. So I had a 9 o'clock, and as fate would have it, they were double booked, and I don't have any time to waste. There's always something I can be doing. So I said, I'm like, do I need to come back? And she said, yeah, let's do 11:30. She calls me in the car and said, me and Farrah can both sit at 2. So I was like, cool. We stopped. I ran out of ketchup yesterday. I got some ketchup, some hot sauce, some picante. Came home, shredded 3 potatoes, made some homemade hash browns, scrambled eggs, gave my husband a nice plate of food, okay? My daughter's eating. And guess what? I hit the live button. There's no way I would walk in this house and not handle business. I missed breakfast because we were supposed to be getting our hair done. We came back. I know my husband. I'm sure he has not eaten. He had his coffee, whatever. But I know what I'm supposed to be doing, handling business, okay? Ladies, you're out here on these YouTube streets. Don't ignore your family. That's number one. That's lesson number one coming from Big Sis this morning. Handle your business. Family comes first, or else you're going to be in a situation like this trick who decided that YouTube was more important. So she's talking to her husband while he's at home with his girlfriend and her kids, okay? And their kids, excuse me, right? So, yeah, don't let this be a cautionary tale, all right? Handle your business. Because you were supposed to be in bed now with your boyfriend with a negligee, a fresh shower, handling business, watching a movie, sticking to the script. And what did you do? Girl, activated that battery in your back. Niecy went live, and girl, the emotions flared. You didn't care about that damn sausage. You must have had to put on a damn show last night after you got off the live. But if I were Zolo, I would have been turned over in the bed and had a full sweatsuit on and been like, don't touch me, okay? And teach your ass a lesson. That when it's time to get down with the get down, yeah, don't go press that live button. Because who's pressed? Somebody was cool as a cucumber telling their story. But somebody was pressed and mad and was triggered and had to come live in their nightie and leave your man in the bed. I wish I would. Are you kidding me? Girl, you're 30 and not in the best shape. If I were you, you got a hard body. You got a 6-pack in that bed, girl. We saw what you was messing with the last time. Homie was he was portly. Liked to drink a 5th of liquor every night. This one just likes to smoke. The other one liked to drink bottles of alcohol. I mean, my God. Gerard said he got puffed up with you. He's blaming you for the weight gain, okay? But what I'm saying is this, girl, those opportunities start to dry up because remember, you are going to be a divorced single mom of 3, okay? Your husband's already moved on. He's got the a high value female. He's got a high value woman, a woman with a great job, good credit, good looks, and options. He knows what he needs to do to keep this woman. Get rid of your ass, okay? because they're getting ready to go to sleep. He puts you on the phone. Okay, you want to talk to your kids? Yeah, like freaking calm down. Shit. If I'm so much of a damn kidnapper, what the hell? And that being said, can we look? I'm thinking to myself, she must be going to the same lawyer that Jasmine is, because you know Jasmine from My Jazzy Life, guys. Jasmine said about a month and a half ago that she had taken legal action against a couple of different things. Legal action had been taken. Okay, what I'm going to say is this. Even Keisha said someone showed up to her house to kidnap her children, right? Legal action had been taken. Why is all this legal action being taken, but nothing is being seen? Letters not being sent. I even heard someone say that they had sent some letters to somebody who I can say this. No one has received any letters. Okay. Someone said that they had a whole legal team and investigators working on something. Yeah, all these people out here who threaten legal action, yeah, it never seems to happen. People just blowing off some steam because they'd rather spend their money in other places, like lip injections, body work, whatever. At the end of the day, this is one thing I know. When you're that bitch and you go get your hair done on a regular basis, or people know that like you can afford your maintenance, people aren't going to rip you apart when you show up looking maintained. Okay. So when someone like Olivia shows up and she's got her hair done, considering that she's always doing her own hair and she's always saying kind of how frugal and cheap she is, or that really we only see her buying food and used clothes and shopping at Ross, which shouts out to Ross. There's nothing wrong with Ross, but honestly, I've been to Ross 3 times since Rona and they just don't seem to have any inventory. So I haven't been back, but whatever. When you're showing up and have maintenance done that is looking like you probably dropped about a couple of $100, $300 maybe, I don't know. People are wondering like, okay, did you pay for that with the GoFundMe money? Because of course it was a fraud. How are you going to say that someone kidnapped your children when there's no kidnapping report, when there's no crime that has been reported to the police that you love to call? There's no legal action being taken. Okay. Somebody is sitting cool as a cucumber at their home with a court order. And you're just sitting home mad. Okay. Mad. And using every opportunity that you can. And let me tell you guys something too. And Olivia, I don't know if you've read the rules or not, but you might want to stop creating situations where you are encouraging your audience to fake engagement. When you are telling people to go and strike channels, people have a right to speak their mind. And this is a free speech platform. Niecy can say what she wants about you. I can't even tell her what to say about you. But what I can tell you is that she has the right to speak her mind. Period. And you can't flag channel. I mean, people can do what they want. They can flag channels, but what you're doing is creating false engagement, and you're inciting that with an audience of over 100,000 reach. Because we know, just because what you guys may or may not know, just because you have 100,000, let's say 90 set, whatever it is, right? The impressions are far greater than that. So you are over here creating a situation where you're going to have people going to flag videos where someone is expressing themselves. And what we also don't know, for anyone who is listening, YouTube is nobody's daddy. We don't work for YouTube. That's why we get royalty checks. Royalties are payments not for services, but for monies that are earned from sales of advertising. But we are not obligated to even post on this service provider. We don't get paychecks. They're royalty checks. Royalty checks are not given for service. It's a cut. It's your cut. It's not a commission. It's your cut. This is what we owe you for advertising on your content. We happen to put some commercials on your video. And because you participate in the YPP, this is your cut. It's not your paycheck. We don't owe you. We don't even have to run. Just because you want commercials doesn't mean we're going to put them, because, you know, you might be talking about that fuck shit on here, and our good advertisers don't want that. So some videos might get paid more than others, okay? What some people don't understand. And YouTube relies on us kind people who love to put our content up, to allow them to make money off of us, and that we'll get our cut from it, messing with the church money. So when you're flagging it, you're telling them that something is wrong, but when the computer scans it and they see nothing's wrong, that's when it's going to bounce back to you as someone who is engaging in nonsense and who is upsetting the system and not acting like an adult. Don't tell people to do stuff that they should not be doing, that they don't know any better because they think that they're supporting you. You don't send people to other people's channels to create drama, and you don't send people to flag videos that should not be flagged. And just because you can strike a channel, bitch, you don't have registered copyrights on nothing. So all you're doing is trying to use a process for people that have registered copyrights and actual legal standing. You're just using a process. And if you become a nuisance with that too, you can get deplatformed. So think that you can go strike channels. Guys, those of you out there, go strike them. There's very definite rules around striking, and it's not just a end all be all. It's a Karen type tactic on these YouTube streets to kind of get your way and silence people. But those of us who know our rights on that process, yeah, you can do a takedown strike. But what I'm going to do is ask you to prove that you have the legal authority to take down my video. And when you can't prove that, it's over and my video will be back. Okay? That used to work before people got the knowledge. Now people have the knowledge, it doesn't work anymore. That's all I'm going to say on that. If you need more in depth on that, there's probably a million videos. But what I'm going to say is this. Olivia, you are doing the most out here. It is not a good look. Maybe you are creating inroads to a specific type of audience. And if that's what you want, girl, you go right on ahead. But what I'm going to tell you is this. What happens is eventually you are going to hit on something. You can't please everybody. And from what I understand, what you do is that, yeah, the term my kids. I mean, look, people say my kids and stuff like that, but you usually kind of like correct yourself like, oh, yeah, well, you know, our kids or whatever. I think that comes up sometimes, right? I think it's more obvious to us now because these two are in a battle. If I'm talking to you and I say, look, don't talk about my kids, I'm certainly not going to say, don't talk about me and my husband's kids. Like, it doesn't, that asterisk doesn't need to be said, but I get what you're saying. Go get a, that's very true. I think she's saying it as in kind of trying to just reinforce and diminish his rights. But yeah, we are not in a matriarchal society. And I think that she is from some outer planet of people who think that it just takes a woman to make kids, raise kids. Like you're just some sort of island. Like you're not like that woman that I used to work with that went to the sperm bank and had her own twins with no man involved, other than the one who sold his sperm for someone to come and make their own babies. Yeah, that's not what you did. You had children with a man who you tried to really diminish his capacity as a man and make feel less than. And now that he is in a position where he can stand up and ask for his rights, you feel like it's too late. Well, it's never too late. But we know that Olivia is living out some of the worst parts of her life through these men that she dates. and man that she married, and it's triggering for her, basically. Yeah, Niecy's a good rapper. Niecy has, she's a talented woman. Do not need to all the celebrities. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he even knew that he was live until he was live. I'm sure someone probably texted him and was like, "You're on the air." Um, this is Olivia is, if you couldn't tell anything from last night, Olivia is clearly triggered by Niecy. Niecy gets her going, and quiet as kept, I think I get her going too. But she thinks that the insults get to me. They really don't. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know who I am. Trust and believe. There's nothing that that woman could say about me or to me that would even bother me, because you don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know me that well. We have absolutely no type of relationship. Period. So at the end of the day, thank you for dropping that, Eric. I appreciate it. I think that Olivia is, again, trying to control the narrative. So on top of her being triggered by Niecy last night, you know, I, I'm trying to figure out how you're supposed to be having a D appointment with your man, and you're over here in the next room going live. And he talked about that, guys. Do you not remember? That's why I'm bringing this up. He talked about that as one of the problems that they have. He said, I'm doing everything. I'm doing stuff that I've never even done for a woman before. But when it's time, when you say you want some from me and I'm not feeling it right now, or I want some from you, you're live. Meanwhile, Zolo's been on here a week or two and he's already figured out a schedule. He's coming live every morning. He said 8:00 sharp, which that's not happening, but he's coming on live pretty consistently, somewhere in the 8, 9 o'clock hour. And he's having his conversations that he said he would, right? Because he's trying to grow a channel. I see him doing some of the right things, but I also see him doing some of the not so right things. And hopefully he can move that needle on that and kind of shift the dialogue in a different direction, because this one is not going to be fruitful. Why is she even having a D appointment when her kids are kidnapped? Well, she's horny, Brandy. Well, we know her kids are not kidnapped. That's number one. Number two, she's horny. And she knows that she's got a man in the house that she needs to take care of. And he's 29 years old, and those balls need to be empty, or else he'll be somewhere else emptying them. Come on, ladies. If you come to this channel on a regular, you know my formula. Okay? You know how they say happy life, happy wife? Stomach full, balls empty. Happy man in the house, okay? That's the keys. Think about it. Okay? She needed to make sure you make sure you handle that business at the house. You stop handling that business at the house, that business will be handled elsewhere. Okay? Yeah. And talking to Loyalty Gang. Okay? There's a whole bunch of chicks that show up to that chat that would be all too happy to jump on that sausage. How many people have we witnessed shooting their shot? Troletta did a whole video about it. If you shout out to Troletta, who was in here earlier, check out that video. I mean, these chicks are in there salivating, okay? All right, guys, I'm telling you, don't let this YouTube stuff get you caught up and caught out there, because this is a perfect example. And I've said this a million times, and I'm probably going to say it every single time I talk about Olivia, is that Olivia was out here talking about people. And you might say, well, Fran, you're doing that too. Well, Olivia was a vlog channel. I'm a reaction channel. That's what I'm getting paid to do. I do reactions and reviews and commentary about the YouTube channels you love to watch. Okay. Olivia was out here basically reacting on several channels. And I swear to my Jesus, this is the oddest thing. I've never seen this play out like this before, but it really seems like this girl couldn't have the worst luck. Every single thing that she talked about, other people, is falling back on her. I would be embarrassed. I would really be almost like, let me be quiet. Let me do what I was supposed to be doing out here, which was vlogging, family vlogging, because this reacting thing is not getting me into anything but trouble because I seem to unleash some sort of mojo on myself that bounces right back onto me. So when I was talking and laughing about Kiara losing her husband and him being up in her house with another woman, well, their house, excuse me. Well, damn, my man's with a whole nother person. Or Chrissy laughing at her with her husband. But yet now, you were exposed for not even being married. And then when you finally did get married, you pretty much were married for a couple of months before you went to Houston and was with Maurice. Okay. So that didn't last very long because for some reason marriage unleashed the hoe in you and felt a need to allegedly go pound on Maurice. Okay. Weird, very strange, right? It's really ironic. The irony here is startling. Like if I were her, I wouldn't talk about anybody, okay? Anybody. You talked about how gross it was to be on Plenty of Fish. Plenty of Fish is your jam today. Plenty of Fish is where you've met all your boo things. But Chrissy was gross to be on Plenty of Fish. That's so disgusting. But you move a guy into your house after like a couple of weeks, and he's in a whole halfway house, just being released from prison, not county jail, guys, prison. ZOLO is very interesting, guys. He didn't tell us the details, but he told us that when he was 4 years old, his father tried to kill him. Okay? Just imagine. He was in the system. He's had a lot of, he's had a hard life, put it that way, right? God bless him. But this is the man that you met on Plenty of Fish and decided to move into the house with your small children. But you are worried about a professional woman who is giving your man amazing advice, or at least being there to support him in changing his life. But you're worried about her, but he doesn't have a right to be worried about someone who appears to be a decent guy, who's had a rough road, who I think shows some control and restraint, because he could have bopped your ass, okay? So I give him a lot of credit for not having had done that. But you've got a whole felon in your house with crimes that we don't know what they were, and has had a very troubled life. But if the shoe were on the other foot, girl, you would be having a damn conniption fit. You would be certifiably nuts. But you've got this guy in the house and it's okay. You've got this guy taking your son out for haircuts and all kinds of stuff. Ari Votan, you can't hear me? V-Love, can you hear me? Maybe you're starting late. Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Okay, you guys can hear me. Hold on just a second. My dog's barking. Just a minute. Guys, I'll be right back. Guys, I'm sorry. Okay, I had to handle something here in the house. So yeah, let me drop the link. If any of you guys have any comments, anyone want to talk about anything, anyone have any questions for me, I would love to hear. I could go on, but that was just the main thing I want to talk about. Number one, pay attention to home. Pay attention to what you're doing at the house. Don't get caught up in this shit because, yes, this is entertainment. A lot of it's real. I'm not saying entertainment as in don't think entertainment means everything is fake, okay? Because that's not the case. A lot of this stuff is based on a true story, okay? It's based on a true story. There's some stuff that has been embellished. Some people don't have time to embellish. My vlog channel, I don't embellish shit. Look, shit a whole lot of stuff doesn't happen around here. The most exciting thing that was happening to me in the past couple of weeks is that I amazed myself and grew a freaking garden that I never thought that I could do. That's what's happening. Oh, that's what's tea over here. You know, people who've got all this shit happening in their lives on a regular basis, it's crazy, right? That's why their channels are where they are, okay? Do people find plant life interesting? Yes, they do. That's why there's channels that have hundreds and thousands and millions of subscribers in very oddball ways, right? But at the end of the day, remember that some people, like Olivia, in this case with ZOLO and them lying to everybody about Atlanta and just calling him a friend, and then last night he was zaddy, and all of this high highs and low lows and fucking with your heads and your energy, is for a specific reason, and it's called a bag. Okay, that's number one. Doesn't mean that it's not real, but what it is they are leveraging and they are taking advantage of certain situations to make money. So what do you think about that, Desimo? How are you?
Hello.
Hey, Desi, how are you?
I'm good. I got you on my TV and my phone.
Yes. Hey, how are you? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you too, Miss Spring.
What do you think about all this? This is crazy, right?
It's a hot ass mess. I live in Austin. I live down the street from Jasmine.
Ooh, okay.
And I found her just from when she was on there talking about her apartments. I just looked them up, apartments near me. So I know where she lives.
She gave the whole name of the main street out there, which I'm not going to say. And please don't
I think I had missed that. But when she walked in somewhere, I was like, she lives where I live. So that's how I found Jazz. But anyway, with Liv, man, I want to find Liv and slap the hell out of her.
When she was in the Jamaican restaurant and she asked that man, was his oxtails rubbery?
No, ma'am.
I was like, girl, go in the Waffle House and ask them some silly questions like that. They will ignore your ass until you get up and leave.
My thing is, you know how to cook oxtails. So that's my only question.
Can you spell oxtails?
Exactly.
Okay? Right.
What you cooking today, Miss Fran?
Well, I've already made some homemade hash browns and scrambled eggs. I'm not sure. I don't know. I need to look in those HelloFresh bags I got. I need to be cooking that stuff because it's not cheap. And I got like 5 different dinners sitting in my refrigerator. So I'm going to pick 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah, I've done that before. Ordered it and didn't even get to cook all the meals. And how's your family?
They're good. My father-in-law's here. They're changing shocks and struts today in the garage. My husband is helping his dad. They're having some Father's Day time. And we got the new puppy, Portia Bella Bougie, and she's next door with Farrah right now. Yeah, we got a new puppy. Little mama was barking. She was not happy.
I heard mommy barking.
I was like, girl, can I help you? But I had shut the bedroom door because mommy sleeps with us. So the bedroom door was closed, so she couldn't get to her bed. So I just opened the door and she's fine now.
And she's bougie gang too. She was like, I need to get to my spot, ma'am. Open the door.
Yes, I want to get to my bed. So, but yeah. So what else do you think about this? Like, what did you think about Louis exposing ZOLO for not being
that video you put up? I was getting ready. See, I work for a promoter. I was getting ready for a show last night. So I was watching your live and I was like, when you pulled that up, I said, Fran is an investigator, honey. Louis was back there on that window.
That was so freaking hilarious.
And he was saying, you don't know where I'm at. Wasn't he just with a dude saying he was in Atlanta and stuff?
He said he was in Atlanta. But he also had the bunny. Remember he had the bunny? He had Gizmo in his lap. It's like
I see why he got caught and is in a halfway house because he clearly.
He's on one of those shows where you have like the dumb, the dumb criminals.
Yes. How they get caught?
Girl, they always say it's not the crime, it's the cover up.
It's the
And if
cover
you
up.
are not smart, you're gonna always get caught. That's why Olivia always gets caught, because Olivia is not smart. It's not the crime, it's the cover up.
I
You got
just
to be
don't.
smart enough to
I
cover
mean,
things up.
I
And
get
you
it
just
for
not.
views, friend. I get it to make your money, but I just couldn't just lie and pull lies out my ass like that. And I don't know. It's entertaining to me. I tell my boyfriend all the time. He's like, I don't know why you watch that stuff. I don't know. I don't hang around with people like that, but this shit is entertaining.
Girl, you better not, because you are only you are so close by the company that you keep.
Exactly.
Imagine if that was a friend of yours, girl, you would be it would be like, girl,
She wouldn't be a friend. She wouldn't be. Because
she wouldn't be your friend.
The way she is with her kids and them not going to school, not keeping them, you can't hang with me. Because when we get ready to go somewhere, your kids can't look like that. You can't look like that. So yeah, I couldn't be around nobody like that.
So what do you think? Okay, so now all of a sudden it's so important that the kids get to summer school.
Girl,
And I'm not discounting summer school, but you're saying 7 years old. You're talking about Robin being 7. Why is Robin failing school at 7? And you have money for lip injections, but you didn't bother to get her either a tutor at the school or pay for a tutor.
She really didn't need a tutor. I have my CDA in child development. The issue was she wasn't going to school.
She wasn't going to school.
They were basically giving her a chance, so she probably didn't go to jail or have to go to court for her child.
And also probably from jumping from school system, because they started school in Texas and then came to Florida. So basically, it was a truancy situation, Miss Drayden. Someone's saying in the
that's the only thing that I could think, friend.
Oh, so to make up days.
Exactly.
So it wasn't like a learning situation where she didn't have enough, she didn't know enough to be promoted. It was more so the days that you were supposed to be here, you missed too many.
Exactly.
Okay. Wow. See, I didn't even really think about that, because I'm somebody that went to work every day and dropped my kid off to school every day.
School. Exactly.
So when perfect attendance is just kind of like, okay, like we don't miss school. And
even with the virtual learning, even with the virtual learning, like when my son was doing the virtual learning before they went back, they have to be clocked in at a certain time in order to be counted there. So that's what I'm thinking. I think Olivia's lazy. She didn't have to get up and get them dressed. So what's the point of getting up and clocking them into school? So that's why that baby was in summer school, because they don't need no child left behind. I think because they knew the pandemic was going on. They knew, maybe things were a little difficult. I think they gave a little more of a leeway for people not letting their kids go to school. So that's what I'm thinking. She just missed, because Robin's very inquisitive and smart. That little girl's smart, regardless.
Yeah, I was kind of like, how in the world is she failing something? Because she's got to be mature to keep up with the likes of that chick.
Robin looks like she's her mama. From what I've seen.
Enough is enough. Thanks for the super chat.
I've been watching this before she had Ryan, and Robin's always been that way. And I think that's more so what it is, because they weren't going to school.
Wow. Look, let me tell you, that's look, at a certain point when you have kids, and I'm sure that's why Chrissy has slowed down, because Chrissy has had babies that are now little people, and she still got some little babies, but the toddlers and whatever, but she's got people now. She got the lady, her oldest is a young lady.
Oh yeah, she's
got the young man the gamer, right? She's got these are like you got ish going on, like they have lives now. Like, I've got one kid and I'm busy. I cannot imagine the load of what some of these ladies are going through. And what Olivia has to understand is you got 3 kids, they're in school, you're in school. So you got to drop the kids off. They got to be there on time when the teacher says to drop stuff off, when they say they need to have a snack, or you need to be on those damn Zoom calls. I mean, they want you on those calls. They want you in the house. They need you to fill out that paper, or they want you to read every night. They're going to ask you to fill out a log.
Exactly. The reading log. They're doing it right now for the summertime.
Yes.
I mean, having kids isn't just feeding them and dressing them and putting a roof over their head. You're raising people.
when they get to a certain age, you have to unleash them to the world. And unless she's going to take on the responsibility of homeschooling, which I would not recommend, Olivia, you don't know anything about it, and you are probably not qualified at this moment to even do that.
No
You
pun intended.
need to, yeah, I'm not even shade intended by me. At the end of the day, girl, if you don't have a high school diploma, you have no business homeschooling your children, and that's
At all.
period, boo. You need to drop them kids off every single day because it's not a guarantee that they're going to be YouTubers. And if they are going to be able to take care of themselves,
if that's an aspiration, if
yeah,
that is an aspiration she's putting in her children, something's wrong. Because when my son said he wanted to do YouTube for a career, you know, you can make you some extra money from that, but what do you really want to do with your life? Because the age you are, YouTube might not be here in 10, 20 years. So
well, it could be something else. I mean, look at Facebook. Facebook, we never thought Facebook would turn 20 and 25, or Twitter, but now it's Facebook, it's Snapchat, it's Instagram, it's Facebook, and then some now. So YouTube is going to be something that we can't even conceive of. But I think the age of streaming and live streaming and free enterprise is here. I mean, there's no turning back from this.
Yeah, and he's 11. He ain't streaming nothing.
Yeah, but you know, one day streaming is going to look very different. And you know, there's nothing wrong with preparing for a job in like the tech industry. Maybe that's
what I told
him about that. Tech industry.
I put him in coding classes because when I was in high school, I took coding. I put him in some coding little classes he do on
tech,
the internet.
web design, social media, marketing, things that he can use.
Exactly.
You never know, girl. He could be the next Diddy. I mean, remember Diddy? He was delivering papers. He had the paper route, and then he franchised out. He ended up getting more paper routes, and he sold his paper routes and had his friends working for him. That's his story. And then he said that's how he became an entrepreneur, selling paper routes.
Oh, wow.
And then, you know, and that was, of course, he was a little guy. But then, you know, he went on to Virginia State, met Andre Harrell, and, you know, started working uptown and formed Bad Boys. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all have a path. So you never know what'll happen for your son. So I wish him the best of luck in his future. I'm sure he'll be amazing, whatever he decides to do. But yeah, when we see these mommies out here failing on what they're supposed to be doing and giving their kids the basics, I mean, it may not feel good for them to be called out, but it is what it is. And if people in your personal life aren't going to call you out, when you turn on these YouTube streets, yeah, people are going to call you out on it because some people may have some wisdom in knowing what it feels like to fail a child. And if they see you going down that road, they're trying to help you.
Because the thing is, I don't think she realized, like, when your kids get grown, they have to move around and navigate this world, and you're not instilling them with anything. You're really making it harder for them. And I think that's just really what they miss as mothers. All of, like, Jazzy too. It's like, we get it. You feed your kids. They're there with you. Great. What are you putting? You're letting them grow like a weed. You're not raising them.
I never see her buy them a book.
Olivia, you know what? Olivia back in the day used to go to the library with them. And I remember I sent her a message because she was letting them tear the books up. And I was like, Olivia, you have to kind of, you know, let them know this is the front of the book, the back of the book, the author, the illustrator. Trying to let her know a little something. And she, you know, ignored it. Then I realized when she was carrying Ryan around everywhere. Ryan's foot had kind of got caught in the oven handle. And I told her, you might want to start putting her down. You don't have to carry her all the time because that's kind of dangerous. Break her leg or something.
Right.
Oh, she blocked me, honey.
Because everything that someone doesn't want to hear means you're a hater. Guys, really quick, enough is enough. Thank you so much for the super chat. And Jenny Jean, welcome. Bonsoir, bonjour. Welcome to the chat. We're so happy to have you. Thank you so much for coming through. Latasha, Brandy, everybody, I see you. Welcome to the chat this morning. I just, you know, these are like what's going on. I mean, I know it's hard to not feel put upon when people are doing reaction videos, but honestly, and I don't say it to mean to be flip, I really mean it. Don't watch reaction videos. I mean, I'm just gonna, do you guys think I sit and watch the Clout Chasers? Like, any of you guys who watch that channel, those people like to roast me and say silly things about me. Do you think I watch over there? I get at least a couple of emails a week telling me to come and watch because they did a video or they mentioned my name or they talked about something
They want
or they,
attention.
do you think I watch that crap? Half of, I don't even know what they talk about because I don't even say half of the stuff they say is not true. Honestly, any given time, it could be everything that they've said is not true. At the end of the day, I don't go and seek out videos about me. I just don't. I'm not interested. Why do I need someone to tell me anything about me? Especially someone I would never trust. I don't, why do I need to watch that? So when you hear that Olivia is watching lots of reaction videos, like that messes with your head. And that's a lot of the reason why I think a lot of these ladies can't put out produced content because they are so in their head about what is being said about them, the dialogue on the YouTube streets, that they can't get back into their creative mode. Like, what do you think about that?
It don't give people things to talk about. Like I've heard you
Okay.
say
I mean,
plenty
so
of
easy.
times. You
My God,
edit
Desi.
you edit these videos. You see it. So to me, in my mind, they must not see nothing wrong with it. There must not be anything that
Right.
they see wrong with the decisions they make or what they put on camera. Like it's the only
Or they
thing.
just, and it's just, I expect you not to talk about it. So we've got Finland in the house. Hello, how are
Oh
you?
wow.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, friend, I don't want to keep you. Let somebody else get on, but I love your voice. You have a
Oh,
voice.
thank
You have
you.
a face for TV and a voice for radio, love.
Oh, thank you. You're
You're,
so sweet,
you're
Desi. I
welcome.
appreciate it.
I've
You
been
are so
watching you
sweet.
since Corona hit. I've been a fan and I love it. So
Thank
doing what
you.
you're doing, friend.
Thank you. Take care.
You too, love. And I'm not
Okay.
cutting off. I'm gonna be on here, but I'm gonna let somebody else get on.
Yes. Thank
You're
you.
welcome, love. Bye.
Okay. Okay. Take care. Okay, guys. Thank Desi for coming through. That was so sweet. Desi, we appreciate you coming up and chatting with the panel. Enough is enough. Thanks again, Ms. Purple. What's going on? She invests time and energy in the wrong things. Yeah, it's really I don't know. It's very disappointing. So let me pivot really quick to Chris, which we can stay on whatever topic, I don't care. But um the funny thing that got me about yesterday with Chris, which I know if you were watching Tasha last night, she did discuss it. But it was so funny to me when that lady said, so not the lady who talked about the boyfriend situation, right? The open relationship, but the lady who said that she was going to be making breakfast, lunch, and dinner and some afternoon head. Did you guys not fall on the floor? He was like, yes, that is what I'm talking about. Chris was so like, ooh. And the funny thing to me, if you go back to the chat, right? I don't know if that person was a troll or not. And forgive me if you're listening and you are not a troll. But what I'm going to say is this: when you have to copy and paste your message a couple of times and you are really trying to bubble it up, I'm trying to figure out why, because that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but whatever. That person put that comment in the chat a couple of times. And okay. Okay, fine. It was just a little weird to me because, but whatever. I mean, I think it was cool that they said that. That's what they're doing for their man. And, you know, I can't remember. Wow. Have I watched? Yes, both of my parents are from Haiti, guys. My parents immigrated here from Haiti um, in the early 60s. And my dad actually he finished up his residency in New York City. And when he finished it, he went back, married my mom, and then they moved here. She was finishing up nursing school and they moved here. They lived in Queens first, and then they moved to New Jersey. And um, I could do a story time on that one day. I mean, they have a very kind of interesting they had a very interesting start here in the United States. Um, but yeah, both my parents came here from Haiti, and I was born here in the United States. And my younger sister and my brother, and my two older sisters were born in Haiti. When my parents first came here, they left the kids, the oldest three, with my grandmother, and they were with her for probably, on and off for about 2 or 3 years. They would come for holiday and things like that, for periods of time. But when at certain points, they would go back with my grandmother when my mom was working and stuff like that. Because I don't know, I guess they had babysitters and maybe they had type of daycares. I guess I don't know what the arrangements were back then, but yeah, that's what was going on. But yeah, Chris was very happy that person said that she was giving her man some head for Father's Day, and that's when Chris started the conversation about being simple. It was weird because everything that Chris said that he wanted for Father's Day, Jasmine had a reason as to why she could not do it. So back to taking care of your home, back to taking care of your man. I'm going to say this. Jasmine, Father's Day is every year. And it's really sad that you as a woman know when Mother's Day is potentially, or know that it's going to be celebrated for you. And you have not taken the time to understand when Father's Day is. Like, did you celebrate Father's Day with your own father? Like, don't you know that you needed to send a card out to your dad? Didn't you guys do something for Father's Day for Mr. Jack last year, I recall? Your mom's boyfriend. Do you not have a baby in your belly from a man that you want to wish a happy Father's Day to? Like, how are you not prepared for Father's Day? Or are you just putting it on because you do have Father's Day together, but you just didn't want Chris to know? Like, what is going on? Why does it seem like you were potentially not prepared for Father's Day? Because that's not acceptable. Because just as you got roasted for those twins' birthday, girl, I'm gonna roast your ass if you don't have Father's Day laid out for the man that put that rump roast up in your belly. That's what you've been wanting all this time. You can't give him one little thank you. You can't get him some Jordans or a T-shirt or make a meal. You hadn't thought just a little bit about Father's Day, or were you just so disappointed because he didn't do anything for you for Valentine's Day because he's one of these broke guys that convinces himself that holidays are so not important because he wants to try to preserve any money that he has in his pocket, so they downplay holidays rather than understand that it's an opportunity to celebrate something. And it doesn't have to all be about money, but don't be a lame ass and downgrade holidays rather than just acknowledging that it's a day that everybody celebrates fathers. Like, oh, I celebrate fathers every day. Okay, good. That's so freaking corny. Okay, we do that, but on this one special day, we as a collective, at least in the United States, we all give dads high fives. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. And you should make your man feel special every day. Okay. But this is the day that we all do it together, that when you go to a restaurant, they say, congratulations on Happy Father's Day, sir. You have a beautiful family. Congratulations. You know what I mean? That's the day that we celebrate the daddies. That's the day that we celebrate the mothers. Birthdays are the day that we celebrate you because we're so happy that you're here. Or you celebrate as a mother. Yeah, like I did that. See, I'm responsible for that human being over there. Okay? That's the day that I became a mother or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, guys. Let's not get so deep with it that it doesn't mean anything. It's just a day, but it's a day that we collectively recognize something that's pretty important. And if we continue to diminish the value of Father's Day, let's not understand that could be one of the reasons why that we have the situation going on in Texas, making a man feel like he's not as valued as a woman who finds her latest boyfriend on POF. Okay? 1 minute, it's so important. You know, he's supposed to be doing this and supposed to be doing that, but then he's a piece of shit. But then some people, all they want is a baby. So Jasmine, all she wanted was a baby. He put a baby in your belly, and now you're not going to celebrate Father's Day? And the irony and the hypocrisy of Olivia downing Gerard and trying to keep him away from his children. Meanwhile, you have a whole man on his live stream talking about that he's going to start to do what he needs to do to see his daughter, who is an infant, who he's not spending any time with. He's over there at Olivia's house taking Christian to go get a haircut. Okay, Olivia, you make it make sense. You are a walking hypocrisy at this moment. You better get back on message. I mean, if slutty is your brand, then that's fine. But even for slut brand, you still need to clean this up because, girl, the hypocrisy is just out the window. If it's good for Zolo bands and it's not good for Gerard, your husband and father of your children, why are you holding him to a separate benchmark? Just like Gerard said, you called the police 9 times on Brandon in January, but I'm such a bad guy. You've never called the police on me, but I'm such a bad guy. Have you filed that kidnapping report yet? Are you using the same attorney as Jasmine? What's going on? But yeah, Chris wants Chris all want he just wants some sloppy toppy. Jasmine, you can't afford that. You can't do that. And did you see how he reenacted how Jasmine kind of was like, ew, you want like and he was like, no, I don't want it like that. See, Jasmine is going to be one of these women who acted sexy and seductive to get him and turned it up. But now that she's got the baby in her belly, she's acting like she's not interested. Okay? And you're going to end up basically walking your man up out the door. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. Hey, Champagne, how are you? And then he's going to be the bad guy because he's cheating. But he's going to be the bad guy because you are forgetting one of my rules, guys. What are they? Stomach full, balls empty. There's no order. You can go in any order you want. It's a circle. Okay? Okay? Because what does that do? Stomach is full. You're gonna get the itis and you're gonna go lay down. You go lay down and you boot up. What happens? You want to, Barbara, how are you? You go lay down with the itis and then you can't sleep. You're going to have to empty the balls, right? And then you go to sleep, you get that good nap, and then you wake up again, and then you want to eat. You want to eat a nice good meal, right? You come home from a long day of work, you want that meal. Take a shower, get in the bed, and what do you want? Those balls are full again. Okay. And you want to empty them. And when he goes out in the world with the empty balls, what happens? Yeah, he's kind of immune to the females. Okay. He's immune. All right. He's not thinking as much with his lower region because it's taken care of. It's well taken care of. If you're not well taken care ofing your man in that area, that's what he's going to be thinking about. He's going to be like when Kwame said that he saw, who was he? He said there's these women out here that go out in these yoga pants that allow their butts to jiggle when they're walking that make you forget that you're even married. That's what Kwame Brown said. Okay, guys. I like to listen to lots of different YouTube because you learn things. Okay. If you want to learn about a man, just sit and observe. You don't have to get all up in the conversation. Last point, guys, call if you want to. Do I need to throw the link down again? I was watching, so Nori on Revolt TV. I can't remember what it's called, but if I can find, I know I can find it, and I will post it on my community board. So Nori had Jim Jones on. I know Jim Jones has been in conversation a lot lately. Nori was talking to Jim Jones and Chrissy, right? I almost was wondering why Christy was there because it was fairly recently, but it was not like since all the stuff has gone on recently. Okay. And but this was like a year ago. They were talking about some things. They were talking about Dipset and everything. And clearly Nori and company were talking to Jim Jones. I think Chrissy may still be his manager, right? Anyway, I like Chrissy Lampkin. I do. I think she's wasted a lot of her time. I would have broken up with him a long time ago, or I would have at least had a baby. She had to be all up in the conversation. Yeah, Noriega. Yeah, I always say Nori because he would in his songs he would always say Nore. But yes, Noriega, and that's my era, guys. These guys are 50 years old now. They're in their late 40s. They're 50. Chrissy just turned 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, Look, Chrissy was all up in the conversation. You know how sometimes you just happen to be with the guys and you realize, like, let me just um maybe there's something else I could be doing, or you know what I'm saying? Like when you find that you're looking down at your phone and you're not really in the conversation, um you know what I'm saying? Like if you were there as the manager, as the girlfriendager, whatever, um his drink, which yes, drink champs. Exactly. Thank you, Z. Um, Great show, by the way, guys, right? Um, it was one of those, it was very Chrissy tried so hard to be in the conversation. So hard. And it was like, can you just let the men talk? And you know, guys, I think some of us are missing that. I mean, I was raised in a very traditional household, plus my parents were Caribbean, or when they were still alive. Um, they very much had kind of like the men were talking in one room, the women were talking in another room. Sometimes at a certain point, all of them would be talking together. But at a certain point, the men were drinking, smoking cigarettes, cigars. The ladies were drinking coffee, talking about kids outside, whatever. Um, Very kind of something out of just watching like Goodfellas and seeing the ladies in the kitchen, not necessarily cooking, but just talking, kitchen table talk. The guys are in the front room or they're in the family room. Very kind of just not what we do today. But as a kid, witnessing that kind of stuff was powerful. Okay. Because you got to hear the men talking, being men, being comfortable in men talk. And you had the women talking women talk, talking about marriage, talking about relationships, getting married, having babies, all of those things, like what we're doing right now almost, right? That's why I just love men are welcome in here, but you're not welcome to dominate our conversation. You're welcome to participate because I feel very strongly about being a woman talking to women about women things and helping pass the knowledge on how to be successful and get the most out of your relationship so that you can be happy because we're not meant to do this alone. And if you are meant to be booed up with your man or whomever, your woman with the woman, but at the end of the day, it's all about how to navigate these relationships and where you figure out what your place is in that relationship and you learn how to play your position, it's beautiful. And I know that that's not like the popular talk, but at the end of the day, that's really what works. And that's just what it is. Yes, women have a lot of masculine energy, and because women have had to step up in different ways that we were never intended to, but at the end of the day, when that man comes in your life or, when that woman comes in your life, it's time for men to let their guards down. It's time for the women to kind of let their guards down. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you have guys that have been so injured and so hurt, they build up walls and they don't want to open up and be vulnerable, so they don't want to let their female energy, so to speak, if you will, that emotional side, they just build it way up and they're kind of impenetrable. And it's hard to have a relationship with a man like that because they almost make themselves unlovable. But women can do that too, right? But that's a whole nother topic that I'm not going for at this moment. But my main reason for talking about Jim Jones and Chrissy was trying so hard. You had a seat at the table. You had a seat at the table as the woman of this man who was invited for the conversation. Now, it's not to say that they would not have included her in the conversation at a moment, but everybody didn't need to hear what you had to say because the conversation was about Jim Jones as the rapper with another rapper, okay, as two OGs in this thing. And your job was to sit back. If you've seen, I know Sharon Osbourne has gotten some flack lately, so excuse me for bringing this up if this is not the popular person to bring up, but what I'm going to say is this. She managed her husband, Ozzy Osbourne, for a long time, and she did a very good job of it because she wasn't trying to be like a heavy metal music artist, right? She managed her husband and let her husband be her husband, and she managed that business, kind of like a Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner doesn't try to be Kim Kardashian, okay? Kris Jenner is Kris Jenner, and she manages her talent, who happens to be her daughter, but she's not trying to be her, okay? She made her. But in the case of Sharon Osbourne, yes, she's the better half to this icon of a heavy metal artist, but that's not what she's trying to be. So if he's sitting there having an interview with other people in the music industry, yeah, she's going to let Ozzy be Ozzy and she's going to sit back and play Sharon, the manager, right? When they invite you two as the couple, then they're going to talk to you as the couple, right? Chrissy was out of place at that table because the conversation wasn't about her. It wasn't about them. It was about Jim. Okay. Right. Exactly, Amber. Right. And I mean, she had business there as the manager, but I would have been sitting there looking in my planner or looking in my phone and piped up when they asked me a question or something that I needed to say to the talent that I manage rather than try and be somebody. You know what I mean? Like you are someone on your own. We know who you are. You're a famous girlfriend or, you're a notable girlfriend who didn't get wifed up and who didn't get the baby, who got blocked by the mom. You fell for the okey doke. You know what I mean? Um, it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure Chrissy probably is going to have lots of regrets, especially if she sits there and continues to grow old with this man. She should have walked away from him a long time ago, but that is just my opinion. You guys might feel differently, but I think that there's it's probably going to be a big regret for her over time. And only reason why I feel super confident in saying that is because all you have to do is say one or two things to Chrissy about what's happened with those two, and she gets pissed. She gets super pissed. You want to piss off Chrissy on Twitter? Make a joke about her never getting married to Jim or not having had a baby, which that's not really funny, but make some sort of reference comment and she will get up in that ass. Okay. You want to get a response from Chrissy? Yeah, talk about that. See what I'm saying? So and nobody wants to be called out for their shortcomings, but when you're a public figure, Olivia, that's what happens. Chrissy, I mean, okay, you know what I'm saying? She was on Love and Hip Hop. Um, you know, I think she's still mad at what's her face? Homegirl. Why am I not thinking of her name again? Mandeezy and his wife. Um I think she's still mad that Yandy tricked her out her spot on Love and Hip Hop. And Love and Hip Hop became more about Yandy and Mandeezy than it did about Jim Jones and Chrissy. Um yeah, we could talk about that too. That's a whole really interesting topic with those two, but whatever. But yeah, my point is this, guys, like know the room, know your position. It's not to diminish the worth of women, but we are different. We're just different, right? We're just different. We have our place in the relationship and we have our place in society. We have our place at the table and understand that guys talking to each other doesn't diminish you as a woman or diminish your role in the relationship. It's just two men talking. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Gerard has had a lot of things to say. Zolo has had things to say about Gerard and what was going on. And honestly, I just don't see how what's been happening has been happening with Olivia and her dealing with Zolo in the way that he has, because I feel like he's had some very truth-telling moments, but she's ignoring them. She's ignoring them, and it's not going to work out good. Um, Zolo is ignoring some signs. He's actually opting in for the one-way ticket on the Fuck Shit Express. And he has started the lying that Gerard it started to engage in for the sake of Olivia to get the bag. And we see how that turned out. I'm sure he may have some regrets about doing that today, that he should have just said, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. You're going to grow your channel the old fashioned way on like the real shit and not fake stuff like doing skits and pretending you graduated and you didn't, and all of these things that now you're mad about but actually are the truth, right? Olivia needs to be wanted and needed. That she's why she dates men who need a place to stay or a ride to work. She won't date a man who has done anything. Well, a guy who's got his own would not date her, Z. And you know why? Because she's married. A man who knows his worth is not going to go for Olivia for several reasons. Number one, she's married. And I'm going to get all Kevin Samuels on you guys. She's a pretty girl, but she's over 300 pounds. She's not physically fit. She is, she's got 3 children. And a guy who is on his shit may not want to assume 3 children in a very toxic situation at this moment. Maybe 3 children in the future when she handles her business and gets out of it. But would you want your son who just got out of business school to date Olivia? He just got his MBA. He's got an apartment on the Queen V. He's got an apartment in the pink building downtown or one of the new high rises in downtown Charlotte. And he's making that guap. He's got a cute little Jeep 4x4 parked downstairs and maybe even a little sports car parked next to it. And here comes Olivia, out of shape, no class, precarious situation with an estranged baby daddy, and a dating history of POF on YouTube. Is that what we're going for in 2021? Okay. No. I don't think so. She can't get a high value man. That's a high value man I just described. And that's not for her. She doesn't qualify. She's getting ZOLO bands, who is she feels reminds her of Chris Brown. Yeah, you couldn't get Chris Brown either, because Chris Brown goes with the baddest chicks. See, he started out with Rihanna, okay? And it's been bad chick after bad. Yeah, they're not all Rihanna. And we know how that turned out. She, look, between the two of them, they bought out the worst in each other. Thankfully, those two have healed and gone their different directions. And thank God it's worked out for both of them in different ways. But this is a guy who would never date her either, nor Drake. Look who Drake is attached to Kim Kardashian at this moment. A very wealthy divorcee. Yeah, she's got 4 kids, but her ex-husband is now called a billionaire. Okay. And Kim is almost a billionaire. So yeah, Drake will date Kim Kardashian all day. Okay. Because when you are wealthy and you are in powerful positions, sometimes it's not about that Kim's got a fat ass. It's about that Kim has power and she has a very powerful mother who is very well connected. Okay. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things that surpass someone like Olivia's understanding in terms of how these relationships work. But even on the low scale, where we're in just the reality of everyday people like us here on this live chat, right? Yeah, Olivia can't get that type of guy. She just can't. She's got to get what's available. And very soon, mark my words, ZOLO Bands isn't going to be available for her either. Okay? Let one of his songs pop. Maybe, right? Let him elevate to a little better financial bracket. Let his channel start making some money. Let him get a couple of $1,000s in his pocket every month extra. So maybe he can pay off some of those fines and fees. What do we know about Black men and the penal system, or the what do they call it? Not indenture, this system that we have of jail, right? Where it's debtor's prison, right? That you end up owing your life because of fines and fees and all of these things for doing things that you're not supposed to do, right? So we know that he's been in prison and, he doesn't have a driver's license from what they say. I don't know what could get it back, but there's not a whole lot that money can't buy, right? So maybe he's just a couple of $1,000s away from getting a license back. Maybe a good YouTube channel could pay off what seemed to be an insurmountable amount to a guy that's changing, doing maintenance work or work on the at the what was it, the sports complex, Yeah, he probably was like, yeah, that's going to be tough for me because I don't make a lot of money and I'm not on the streets anymore or whatever. But yeah, you got a YouTube channel and if it starts to make some money, hey, you can pay some fines off. Maybe you can get your driver's license and guess what that leads to? That leads to a car, okay? Now you got a car, you got some money, you got a fan base, you getting some box, okay? All right? You're getting that. You getting some haircuts, you getting some Jordans, you feeling fly. And guess who now is who hasn't gotten on the bike yet? Guess who didn't go out in the morning and start running? Who told Olivia to get up and go running in the morning or go sit on that bike? Okay? Olivia, let me tell you something. You got to listen to the words that are coming out of your man's mouth. He's low key telling you to get your ass in gear and lose some fucking weight. I'm not trying to score on you by saying that and belittle you. You're big. You know that you're a beautiful woman. Nobody has to tell you that you're not ugly, but you're large. And if you think that it's okay because it's okay for other people, you are not other people. You are you. And the reason why the weight issue bothers you is because you think that you should be like everyone else. But all of us who know anything, yeah, your mom should have raised you to tell you that you're special and that you're different and you're not like everyone else. So just like weight didn't work for me, well, it's not going to work for you. Everybody doesn't need to be a size 20 something. There's going to be size 20 somethings, okay? And that's okay for them. I'm not talking to them. We're talking to you. If you say you're a bad bitches act like bad bitches and they care about themselves and they care about how they look. And they also stick to their word. And if they say they're going to do something, then they do it. So we see you've got a weight loss challenge going on and we are seeing the challenge of the weight loss challenge. And we're going to see how it turns out. And I'm certainly not trying to score on her or anything to try to make her feel bad. That's certainly not my point. My point is this. You've got to take control of your life, and weight is definitely a control issue. If you were okay with your weight, you wouldn't talk about it. If you were okay with how you looked, it wouldn't be an issue. If you were okay with everything about yourself and it was it was a no on the list of items to talk about, you wouldn't talk about it so much. You wouldn't talk about your smoking, you wouldn't talk about your box, you wouldn't talk about your hygiene, you wouldn't talk about your money. There's a lot of things that come up that you talk about that I scratch my head like, why are you even talking about that? But you're talking about it and you make it a topic of what? Conversation. So people are going to talk about it. People don't typically talk about what's not talked about or referenced. So when Zolo said he had a house and cars in Atlanta, then, sir, why are you staying in a halfway house or whatever you call it? Well, because he was in the halfway house because that's where Olivia found him. He went to the halfway house because that's where he had to go when Olivia put him out. He's just trying to perpetuate a narrative that he doesn't live there because Olivia is in what? Hot water with Gerard's excellent attorneys who are watching her channel for information on how she is living her life as it pertains to these children. Since now you want to create false narratives about your husband being a kidnapper and talking about innocent people when you are, in fact, dealing with people involved in illegal activity who are smoking to high heaven in the car where you have your young children and their car seats are contaminated with either THC or CBD smoke on period. Okay. And you're trying to create some distance with a man who we knew had not two nickels to rub together and needed cash apps to get across town to rent a cheap hotel room. Why he would think that we believe that he was in Atlanta when Louis was standing at the door like, no, you ain't. Okay? Come on. Oh yeah, I'm sure they are taking a deep dive. Girl, Olivia is in some hot water, I would imagine. I don't know that on fact, and that's not something that has been conveyed to me, because as you guys have figured out if you were watching Nisi's channel last night, conversations between me and a friend and personal private conversations stay what? Personal private conversations are not content, okay? I'm not that type of bitch. I could have a friend who can tell me all kinds of stuff, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, my friends who talk to me, my friends, period. I don't want to say my real friends, my friends, period, are not content. Okay. Now they may put out content. I may do a video, but it's not going to be based on anything that someone told me in a private conversation or anything like that, because that's not me having a conversation with someone. Never have to say, well, this is not for your channel. Yeah, because when we're talking personal and private and I hang up love, when you're talking to Francoise, period, you're not like, hey, this is an interview for Love, Lies, and Lace Fronts. I mean, people who I know the difference. And at the end of the day, when I'm on the phone having a personal conversation, it's a personal conversation. So that's not even something that needs to be said. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is this, just my common sense and having a couple of friends who are attorneys and of that nature. Yeah, she's probably in a whole lot of hot water. They're watching her channel. They've got to be. This chick is doing the most. And if their job is to fully protect the interests of their client, or clients, but specifically a custodial father who is being given a hard time, being able to flex his rights at the appointed time, when you have another parent who fled the state without the permission or the knowledge of the other parent. Yeah, I'm sure they're scrubbing her channel and anything else to get clues of what they can use to make their client's case better, I would imagine. So, everything is yeah, Courtney, like I was saying this the other day. When she retains an attorney, I am sure they're going to tell her regarding your channel, don't delete anything. You can probably private everything, private incriminating things, or things that are not on brand, and we're going to discuss what brand is right now. Everything else, private it, don't delete it, because all of this is now discoverable, because all of it, based on what you've said in your videos, is your real life. So because this is your real life, you are not allowed to delete this, and I'm telling you this as your attorney, because the judge is going to tell you that too, I would imagine, because I'm sure Gerard's attorney is probably going to ask them for her to not delete her content. So she's screwing herself. Discovery, exactly, XY. It's all discoverable. You are leaving a paper trail. The kidnapping video, girl, you're no better than these people that get on NBC with crocodile tears saying that their kids are missing. Meanwhile, unfortunately, we know what happened. You know what I mean? Those stories never turn out well, do they, guys? Those women who like to engage in tall tales because they've got other shit to do than raise their children, and they get on the news because they were busy with a boyfriend, and somehow, some way, your house is like Fort Knox, but the kids somehow like got out the house, but then it all comes back to you and your boyfriend having done something weird. Girl, don't be like that. If I were you, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that, because it's just not a good look. But guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. We've been on here for a minute, almost 2 hours, hour and 45. You guys know, like, I'm watching just like you guys are. And all I'm thinking is like, okay, let me make sure I talk about this. Or when I hang up from you guys, I'll be like, oh man, I forgot to talk about that. But guys, it was so fun talking to you. Thank you, Desi, for coming up to the panel. That was so much fun. Guys, come up, don't, speak your mind, pop your shit, tell me I'm wrong, all of that stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a forum for you to share your ideas and thoughts, just like it is for mine. So I love to hear from you guys. You guys are so much fun to talk to. For him, readers challenge I did, and I wish I had, but I would always, I've won a few, I've won things here and there. I'm competitive with me. I've always taken people's success as motivation. It's never It's no hateration over here. It's always motivation. Can I make one last point? Olivia, I hate when you put out fake facts, and this is what I'm going to say. Some of you out there have been members of my channel for a long time. I know specifically there's a couple, Risa, I don't know if you're out here, but Risa has been a member on this channel for almost a year. I don't know if she wanted me to say that or not, but there have been people on my channel, definitely in the 5 and 6 month range. When you see these different emojis next to their names, it's not because they're picking them. It's like almost like badges. So you get a 30, a 60, I think there's a 90, then you go to 6 months, 9 months. I don't change that. Okay. Those things come from putting in that time. So there are a couple of people who are going to be getting that 1 year membership. Olivia, we know when you did your first membership. Okay. That was just maybe 3, 4 months ago. So please stop with the lies, ma'am. No, I know you, maybe you weren't talking to me, but I just want to put it on record that, yeah, you were not any motivation of mine to do membership. I've had membership almost a year now. Okay. So boom on that. All right. And you can validate that. The receipts are go to my membership page, and I think it shows you the emojis and the icons for membership, and you can check that receipt yourself. Right. Okay. And guys, I'm gonna play the outro that gets under Olivia's skin so bad because she sounds like a raving lunatic, because she's always gonna remind you of this for the rest of your motherfucking life. Okay. Olivia, guys, if you did not know, she knows how to hold a grudge, and she's a ball buster. And yes, Juneteenth, what I was saying before, if you don't know what Juneteenth is, Google it, read a couple of articles on it, support some written print media out here on this internet. Read a couple of articles if you don't know what it is. But for those of you who do know what it is, you are celebrating out here. We are rejoicing in the freedoms. It is a unique to the United States African American holiday. For those who want to support and celebrate along with, join the party, because at the end of the day, you are only as free as you know what's going on in your head. There are a lot of people who are in mental prison, right? But freedom is something that has to be exercised and put some action to. So definitely get educated on Juneteenth. If you don't know what it is, don't just join the party. Get the information, then join the party, and have a good time, because at the end of the day, it's a beautiful thing. And I'm so happy that when I went to school in Texas, Juneteenth was just kind of like, I had to learn what it was. I was from New Jersey. I'd never heard of Juneteenth, but living in Texas long enough, you knew what Juneteenth was, and it's important. And now that Juneteenth is widely celebrated and recognized, it's a wonderful thing. So, guys, get educated on your African American history, even just for 10 minutes for today. Yeah, 10 minutes every day, 30 minutes. Your membership is the only way she can talk her ish. Well, okay. You know what, Sheila? Honestly, it's a revenue generator. She's making some money from that, most definitely. So yeah, she can pop her shit, but yeah, she's making a buck on that too. Trust me. Okay. Um, So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this outro, guys. If you guys don't have anything else for me, and we're gonna try to hit on some other topics on Monday, because I'm getting Olivia out unless anything really super notable happens. But we're gonna try and keep her at a minimum, because you know all good things deserve a little bit of a break, and this topic is being well covered. But we'll get caught up. But we're going to make sure that we stay fully well-rounded and diverse up in here, because we don't want her to get it twisted. I don't care what she thinks, but yeah, we don't want to get it twisted, because yeah, there's more fish to fry on these YouTube streets, guys. Okay. Um, okay, Firebird. Yes. Excuse me, Fairbird. Excuse me. Absolutely. I've peeped that. Yes. I actually did do a membership once upon a time so I could report back to you guys what was going on, and there was nothing going on. I was on the highest membership. I was paying $19.99. I think I did it. It was basically 2 months. I think I paid. And there was like a little bit of tea, but it was very boring. Like a couple times she was like sitting in her closet and like, woe is me to Gerard. And it was boring. I was like, this is some shit. And then when I saw later she put it out anyway, it was like, whatever. So, okay, guys, I'm going to go. Take care.
I will always bring this up for the rest of his motherfucking
Don't
life.
get me wrong, I'm still a petty bitch and I'll still talk my shit. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a petty bitch and I'll still
I'm that bitch.
talk my shit.
I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch.
Whatever.
I'm that bitch.
There's different
I'm that
technicalities to the shit.
I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch.
I'm just saying, whatever negativity. Hold on. Hello.
How far? Probably like 5 hours away.
Alright.
I will always bring this up for the rest of his motherfucking life. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch.
Don't get me
I'm
wrong,
that
I'm still a
I'm
petty
that
bitch and I'll
that
still
bitch.
talk
I'm
my
that bitch.
shit.
I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm just playing.
Don't get me wrong, I'm still a petty bitch and I'll still talk my shit.
I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm just playing.
Don't get me wrong, I'm still a petty bitch and I'll still talk my shit.
I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch. I'm just playing. I will always bring this up for the rest of his motherfucking life. I will always bring this up for the rest of his motherfucking life. I will always bring this up for the rest of his motherfucking life. Ooh, why Fashion Nova keep hitting me up though? Cause I'm that bitch. 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 I'm just playing.